Black professionals don't get to be assertive without being labeled aggressive. And we don't get to be reserved or introvert without people questioning whether we are intimidated or inept. I cannot tell you how many times.
I actually want to talk about this because it is something that I have consistently continued to deal with within these professional settings. I'm so grateful that this creator pointed this out because it has become something that, to be quite honest, frustrating and disappointing that we Black people, Black women within these professional settings were not allowed to be our full authentic selves. We can't be introverted at work because you're supposed to be constantly on. You're supposed to constantly be present, the sense that you're participating in every little piece of activity that's happening. And sometimes, in fact, all the time, we just want to come to work, do your job, go home, give me my paycheck. That's it. I do not want to hear about your so-and-so. I do not want to participate in such and such. I just want to come do my job. Let me get out of here. But they will not let us. The last job I had, before I got laid off, anyway, this was my second month of working at this organization, nonprofit, and there was a retreat that everyone was going to attend. Fantastic. I'm still trying to get to know everyone. So technically, I'm not going to be like on level 20 like everybody else. However, I was still very much getting to know everybody in teams and everything like that. We get to this beautiful place, huge place they had rented for us for those few days. And this was like in the middle of summer. So last year, just before, in fact, I just got back from Beyonce. I just come back from the Renaissance Toronto show. And I was like, okay, let's do this retreat. Really tired. And I was still very much on Beyonce time, if you know what I mean. Like anyone who went to that Renaissance, you know, still reliving that wonderful experience. Anyway, I'm at this retreat. It is summer. It is blazing hot. The ED is like, go in the hot tub. I'm like, you smoking your socks in my mind? Because I'm like, how are we doing a hot tub thing? It's like boiling hot outside. I mean, other people were like, no, we're not gonna go. We're not gonna go. And I was like, bet, I'm not gonna go and sit in water that is hot and bubbly with other people while we're outside in the heat. I was like, nah, this is not for me. These activities, especially this hot tub one, was not mandatory. You just went if you wanted to, fine. And this is an organization with all women, by the way. So everybody is enjoying themselves. The ones who didn't go into the hot tub were sitting in the lounge watching something and just chatting away. I kid you not, when we got back to the office a few days later, my ED requests a meeting with me. I'm like, okay, what's going on? And mind you, I'm new at this organization, so I do not know everyone yet, but I am cordial with everybody. We're not besties. We're not doing, friendship bracelets level of getting to know everyone, but I understand everyone, where they're coming from, whatever. Anyway, this lady sits me down and she's like, what were your thoughts on the retreat? And I was like, it was wonderful. I enjoyed myself. I got to know a lot of people, etc. You know what this lady said? She's like, well, I feel you were not being a team player. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I don't think you were being a team player because you did not participate in the hot tub. I'm like, so you're telling me because I didn't step into hot water outside while it's hot outside and chat to people while I'm boiling, I am not being a team player? She's like, yes, you were not being a team player. Quite frankly, that's really aggressive behavior. Like, excuse me? I sat there and I was like, lady, I worked in America. I have learned the art of having to defend or deal with this nonsense. And I was like, this was not mandatory. Going in the hot tub, she's like, well, you're new, you're supposed to get to know everyone. Mind you, during this whole retreat, I was getting to know everybody and everyone was getting to know each other. So you cannot tell me that just because I didn't sit in a scorching hot pool of H2O while it is the heat of summer, I am being aggressive and not being a team player. Like, these people, I do not understand. What? I have more stories of that place, but it was just baffled me that day. I was like, are you kidding me? She was genuinely upset. And I told her, and I was like, let me paint the picture that you're painting to me, because what you're saying does not make sense. And so I reiterated from my point of view exactly what she was saying. And she was like, maybe I just don't understand. I'm like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Because what are you talking about? You're not stepping into that water for those few minutes. Whilst it wasn't mandatory, everybody else was doing their own thing. You want, like, get out of here, man.
You're not ashamed of yourself. Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.